Hi, this is Leah Klein, Health and Wholeness Coach. And today, my question for you is: are you feeling weighed down? Our verse today is Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Are you feeling weighed down right now? Does life seem hard? I can relate. It's been a rough couple months since my dad passed away, and taking on a whole lot of new responsibilities that I didn't have before, and being kind of the one to keep everything afloat. And some of you probably have had similar experiences where all of a sudden, life just got a little more difficult and a little more complicated. And we have to remember that in the context of our verse, what he follows it up, also with saying, Jesus doesn't say here that we don't have to work. We wish that was the case, but that's not really what it says. It says that his yoke, his work for us to do, is easy and his burden is light in the following verses. And sometimes, we want to fight against that. We just don't want to accept that what he has given us is something we can handle, or otherwise he wouldn't have given it to us in the first place. And also that yoked with him is where we find our strength to keep going when, things are hard or things are difficult. And it's also where we find our rest. And we need that both spiritually, emotionally, and physically. We need that rest. We need to know that it isn't necessary to be 100% running full out all of the time, that's not really what's required of us. That otherwise we wouldn't have Sunday. We wouldn't have the Sabbath day of rest that we take. And that is key to remember for our physical and emotional well-being, is that we do require rest. And we do have to stop and carve out time, like I had to today, to take some time to get away from some of the stress and just breathe and connect with God. Because it's when we are connected with him that we are yoked with him. And he can give us his peace and his rest in whatever crazy situation you may be in right now. I want to encourage you to ask God to show you anything you don't need to be carrying. Because lots of times we're carrying our yoke is feeling really heavy, and it's because we don't have his yoke. We've thrown on a few extra weights, and that is weighing us down in ways that he doesn't want us to be weighed down. So ask God what that might be in your life. What's something maybe you need to let go of? Maybe it's perfectionism and having everything be perfect that you're doing, rather than just being done and spending a little less time on it. Whatever that looks like for you, ask God to show you what that is. And if you want to share that, if you're on Facebook, in the comments below the video, feel free to do that. I love hearing from you. And I wanted to wrap up our time today with a song that relates to our passage, and that is Softly and Tenderly. Feel free to join in if you want, or just listen. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. See on the portals, he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home, come home. You who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, O sinner, come home. I will see you next week with another verse, and I will see you then.